Hey, how you doing? You don't want to answer me? That's fine. I wasn't really asking. All right, I met a couple fine folks from IK Multimedia when I was in Germany this year, and they introduced me to the ToneX ecosystem. And I'd heard the name ToneX, and I just thought it was a guitar pedal. I honestly had no clue what it really was. And they've given me all the hardware. So it's essentially, to dumb it down for people like me, you capture guitars through your amps, and then you're modeling the amp sound into a model, and it's software, and then you can use that in a variety of different functions, variety of different ways. So you start with this, which is the ToneX capture box, and it's this tank. It's solid, super heavy metal, not heavy metal like the music, but you take that, you plug it into a system that you want to capture. It's like a reamping system. You connect to the software, which is called the ToneX software, and you capture it, and then you can run it through Amplitube, or you can run it through one of their other pieces of hardware. This is the ToneX pedal, and this is the big one. And you can plug that into an amp, or you can plug it into an FR speaker. And then recently they introduced the mini version of it. So it's like the ToneX pedal. This is called the ToneX One, and you can load in your models through that and do a bunch of different things. So what I want to do, the whole reason for this video is to fully document. I've done it once, I got it working. It wasn't easy. It took me a number of tries and days, and tried through different configurations, different audio interfaces. Finally got it with help from Henning, because he made a video too. But I'm gonna step by step and timestamp everything. So if you're like me and you just got into amp modeling or modeling with guitar stuff, because it's all new to me, this is gonna be like a step by step. I'm gonna show you the plugging in. I'm gonna show you the configuring the software, at least with my interface on Mac and the amp I'm using. So I've already done one. I did a Victory VC35, so I've already created that profile. And the cool thing is you can can't do that. You can upload it to the ToneX library online, so anybody can use your profile if you make it public. I haven't really played around with the settings, so I think it's public. What else we got? There's a ToneX librarian, so you can set up all your ToneX settings and see all the can't say that word, models that you want. And let's just get going. I'm going to capture, here's what I plan to do. I've got the Rev G50, and what I want to capture is a green channel. I said it. Green channel model. I'm just going to bleep out those when I say, apparently you can't say that word because it's owned by Kemper. So I'm just going to censor that out every time I say, every time I fucking say, I'm going to censor out the. So we're going to capture that. I'm going to show you step by step, because I ran into an issue with the software, and it was one checkbox. And I'm like, come on, seriously? That's what stopped me from doing it? If I can, I'll try to actually capture the error that I get, that I had an issue with, and then I'll fix it on the fly. So let's do that. We'll set it all up. We'll play it back. We'll compare the real versus the capture, and then I'm going to load my model into the pedals, and then play it through a little Mackie PA system down there. Oh, you can't see it there. It's hiding over there. I'll show you later. A Mackie system, like if you were gigging or something, or you were going out and you had one, something like that, like a PA, what it sounds like through that. So it's the setup is not simple, but once you set it up, then it's simple. It's not a beginner's tool. This is definitely something you need to understand ins and outs of audio interfaces, computers. It's not convoluted, but it's detailed. I'll say that. No, you don't know. And if you're watching this and you do know, then you're not watching this. Okay, let's go. Okay, first thing we're going to do is pick a guitar, dial in a tone that I like with the green channel on the Rev G50, and then once I pick something that I like, we'll start the capture process. So let's get that set up. I'll go with my Lewis Minnow. It's got dual P90s. Okay, so that's my settings dialed in. It's the green channel with the red drive. So that's the third part of the channel 2. It's also blue and red, or off. I've got the bright mode on, and no reverb, nothing like that. And then I've got a microphone set up here. It's a Royer R10, and we'll start plugging stuff in. This is the connection diagram, essentially what we're going to do. And I'll show you step by step. Just to be clear, I'm using the Apollo Twin X from Universal Audio. There are 2 outputs on the back. There's a 3 and a 4, and I'm just using a line instrument cable to go out from there. So we're going to take that line level, and we're going into the line input on the front here. ToneX is powered on, and yeah, so that's the first step. Okay, now we're going to go out of the amp to the from amp on the capture. So it's right here. Right now it's going to the cab. I'm going to remove that. So I'm coming out of a 8 ohm output, and that's just because that's what the cabinet speaker is. And then we're putting it in the front here. Do it with my hand, one-handed. There we go. So that's amp out. Run it, make it clean. Okay, so I've got my instrument directly connected in. Taking that out, I'm going to be replacing it with another instrument cable. So it's input, and then it's going into the back to the 2 amp option right there. I'll take another speaker cable, and we're going to connect the ToneX to the cabinet, right there. Okay, and then on the back, this rev, there's an input. There's also an output if you're going to daisy chain them, but we're not doing that. So everything's routed. Just need to plug in my instrument cable into here. There. Very last thing, I'm doing a microphone. So we're going to connect that mic to this input right here on the back. It's already plugged in. I just got to plug in the microphone now. That. All right. The next step, we got everything plugged in. The next step is to load up the ToneX software and click on the modeler option. And this is what really got me stuck here. I'm going to show you why. Cue outputs. So by default, the line 3 and 4 on the Apollo Twin X, there's a Q, which is a different output for a mix. And by default, it's set to mix. There's a little checkbox here. With that checked like that, it doesn't work. I'll show you how it doesn't work. So grab the guitar. Okay, this is where you set all the levels for everything. Did you hear that? That was with the mix on, because the mix was getting routed through and it was doing a loop feedback. That wasn't the issue I was having. I didn't even get to that part. The issue I was having, it was telling me it was silent. But anyways, if you're having issues and you have this set up, go into that setting and turn that off. That'll solve your problem. So let's go through the setup here. Next, we're doing guitar. Next, we're doing amp and cab. You can have 1 or 2 microphones. I'm just doing 1. And I've already gone through this, so I'll explain it though. Everything we've just set up is configured here. The important part is your routing here. You pick your output. So make sure your audio interface is selected, right? I'm going out to 2 monitors here. The line 3 out. See, the other option is line 4. If I had that mix, don't want to do that again. If I had line 4, I could choose that. There's 3 or 4. That's going into the reamp box, the ToneX. And then microphone 1 is coming into mic, line 2, which is on the back, the second input. If it was line 1, it'd get detected. So everything's good here. Buffer size, I left it. Now here's where the high Z input is what we're setting here. That's, oh, didn't like that. A little bit more. I think that's good. It's not loud. Okay, mic input. Okay, we're good. Listening level, I'm just gonna put it to like half. And this is it, we're ready to capture. This process, the last time I did it, it took about an hour. So there is an issue with Mac systems. If you had a Windows box with a GPU, powerful GPU, ToneX takes advantage of that. From what I heard, it's one of the first times Mac is behind on the Windows because of the GPU. I don't know if they're working on it or if they're going to plan to speed that up. Anyways, what I'm going to do is set the capture. I'm going to let it run in real time so we can see how long it takes. I got the clock here, 11:19 a.m. and we're going to start it. I'm not going to sit here and record myself, but let's go. All right, we've done the capture, and I picked the medium setting, so it didn't take as long as I thought it would. It took half an hour. The first one I did the advanced, and that took, I think, an hour, maybe a little bit longer. So here's where you actually test your model and compare it to the tone model. Sorry, compare your real rig to the tone model. Real rig to tone model. So let's hear that. Let's check it out. This is just a room recording, so. That was real tone. Cool. I'm hearing it through monitors versus the amp, so it doesn't sound exactly the same to me because it's not the same output, but at this point, now you customize your model. I'm just going to make it one of these. I'll just make it, I wish they had a blue one. Do they have a blue one? Okay. Here's where you put in all the information. And this tone model is going to go online. Tone model name. The last one I did was the Victory VC35, and I said Voxy Lady. It's a Vox reference and Foxy Lady reference. This one is going to be called the G... That sounds good. Enter keywords, no, description, G50, green channel, on red. Amp name, Rev, drive, G50, amp channel, green. Cab name, it's a Rev. So 1x12, mic, Royer R10, outboard, optional. Save and go to player, oops. And we're here, so in my librarian, my tone models, you see that one there, that's the new one. Now I can upload it, and it's sending it to the Tone Net. It's the internet of tone, and that's it, it's up there. All right, the last step in our quest, I've got the ToneX pedal. I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to load up the ToneX software, and then I'm going to download. I was trying to think, is it upload or download? I'm going to push the model that I just made, the G50 model. So let's plug it in. There we go. It's syncing. What is it syncing about? It's syncing about please waiting. Give it a second here to sync. What are you syncing about? What do you sync? So you have your banks. This isn't a video all about the ToneX pedal. but you've got your banks. I put Voxy Lady there already. I'm gonna grab this one and drop it right there. It's gonna overwrite the Dumble. Gee, that sounds good. Okay, let's go set up the pedal. Voxy Lady. Gee, that sounds good, right there. Okay, mono output into the PA. Now the PA, this Mackie, it's a Showbox. It's got a built-in SD card. So I'm going to get untangled here. Just play a couple of riffs. Record it through the Mackie. Like it's got its own SD card inside that can do a recording. Record it and then play that back. Okay, huge thanks to IK Multimedia for sending me this stuff. It's really cool. It's really great. Glad I got to check it out. If you're interested in any of this stuff, I'll have links in the description. Check it out for yourself. And I hope this was helpful. Maybe this helped solve somebody's headache and solve the issue of them trying to figure this out. And if it wasn't the exact audio interface, maybe it led you in the right direction, gave you an idea of what was wrong with your interface. That's pretty much it for today. All right, as always, play guitar and have fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.